Femi's Bride tells the story of a maiden known as Fumi, married off against her wishes to a man who is older than her. She would have preferred to go to school, but her mother insists that she would only end up as a teacher if she does. Dot dot dot. Anyway, after the wedding, Fumi moves to her husband's village. Her husband is a wealthy farmer who also tells stories with his talking drum. While she doesn't find him ugly, just old, she struggles to love or even like him. And he tries his best to win her affection, dyeing his graying hair black after she calls him old, offering her assurance, and letting her throw childish tantrums.
I know you think I am old and ugly. Just give me a chance to love you.
I didn't say you were ugly. I said you were old.
His truant's nephew, Femi, played by Tobi Bakre, then comes along from the university in Lagos, and somehow an amorous affair begins between these two youngsters, and somehow somebody falls pregnant.
Femi, wahala ti ṣẹlẹ̀.
Shikasalo.
And somehow these two become husband and wife. Now to what I liked about the movie Farmer's Bride. The first part will whine you, and the second part will give you sweet action, but the ending, you will not see it coming. Our Femi and Fumi left Romeo and Juliet shivering at the end. The story was interesting. I liked that it wasn't too predictable. I kept wondering how it would end. And even though there were some hints, courtesy of Femi's mother's prayers, the way it unfolded wasn't entirely expected. One of my favorite aspects of this movie is the acting. Before this film, I had never seen Irele and Aigbe in a movie. Yes, I know they're popular, but for some reason, I just haven't watched a film featuring them until now. Irele played the role of Femi's ex-girlfriend and by force bestie to Fumi. She was so natural in her role, like her acting did not seem like acting at all. She delivered everything her character needed to give. And Aigbe, who played Femi's mother, gave us an AMVCA-worthy portrayal as a spiritualist when she chanted incantations by the river. Bakre was great as always, and Gbubemi Ejeye embodied her character well. Everyone did well. Now to what I did not like about the movie. The switch between Yoruba and Queen's English, especially in the beginning, kept throwing me off.
My husband, tell them how they met.
Some of the conversations in English language did not seem natural. It was giving old Nollywood breakfast table scene where the son goes, "Jonathan, kindly pass the milk," or "Mother, can I request that you pass me some butter?" Like, nobody talks like that in Nigeria. I also kept wondering if the setting of the movie was 2024 village movie or a pre-colonial era village movie because the outfits looked very modern, but the houses looked like a museum. The kitchen looked modern, but the sitting room looked like a palatial house from the early 20th century with old-looking television sets and radios. But then, Femi once noted that the radios don't work. So does that mean that all those appliances were merely for decorations? Then Fumi's mom, noting that a teacher is all that someone can aspire to be after going to school, suggests an outdated perspective. So you can't blame me for being confused. I just want to add at this point that it was quite obvious that only one house was used for filming after Fumi moved to her husband's village. Yes, we can tell. This story has two parts. That is when Fumi was married to the wealthy farmer and when she was married to the wealthy farmer's nephew, Femi. A lot of twists were added to the second part. Example, the element of reincarnation, which was totally discarded as the movie progressed and ended, which begs the question, what was the point of the reincarnation twist? Was it just to make the movie longer? The romance between Femi and Fumi in the movie did not deliver what the trailer promised. In the trailer, there's a pause when the two lovers meet, suggesting love at first sight. But in the movie, there was absolutely no moment between them. I was even confused at one point. Like, how do you just go from meeting someone and having about two conversations to suddenly being all over each other? Oh, that's true. She did stumble upon him half naked, bathing in the river, but still, I did not feel any chemistry in that scene between them. Maybe that was what the producers were aiming for because Femi never loved Fumi, but she was too blind and naive to notice. But Fumisha, he wanted to be more than a wife from the first scene in this movie. He wanted to go to school only for Femi to come along and your ambition in life is to be a housewife. Chai. Now, wow.
I used to want to be a healer. I thought I could be anything other than wife of an old farmer.
The movie attempted to portray Fumi as someone way advanced in her age, as she took lots of bold steps. But if you look deeply, it actually reflects her immaturity. Beneath that fearless girl persona, she was just a naive girl with limited sense, waiting for the first person to come along and tame her. What I learned from this movie: number one, run away. Don't walk from a man with no vision. 2. A cheetah won't change its spots no matter how much you wish it. 3. You don't have to start a family with someone just because you had sex and now you are pregnant. 4. Don't forget your dreams because of a man. 5. There's a reason some kinds of relationships or some kinds of love are forbidden. There was even a movie on Telemundo back then called Forbidden Love. I don't think it ended well. I cannot remember. Now, who should watch this movie? This movie has X-rated scenes. Like if the movie was 2 hours long, the X-rated scenes were about 30 minutes. Okay, I'm just kidding, but it's an interesting and unpredictable watch. It's one of those movies that 2 years later it will be considered sacrilege for it to stand in a gathering and utter these words: I did not watch Farmer's Bride. Oh. And also, if you are Yoruba, you'll probably enjoy it even more. Although there were subtitles, I could tell that they didn't translate all the words. So basically, if you're in need of a weekend watch that will shock you, you should watch this.